I am here. As you say.
Now we play a little. On it. On it. As you like.
Your head will make lovely crunching noises.
I'm sorry, am I too quick for you? This won't take long. Killing yourself would have more dignity, no? Shame. As you like.
That's it. Prepare to be crushed.
As you like.
Squish.
I'll get on it. Got it.
Rush them all quickly.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Nice swing. I am ready. As you like.
That increases our path of destruction.
On it. As you like.
I paid a ransom for a trade permit. They can't do this.
I've never seen an elf down here before.
How am I supposed to live with no crafts to sell? I'll be ruined.
They think they're isolated now? Merchants won't risk this happening again.
Step right up, friend, and have a look at the finest selection of almost new armor and weaponry east of Orlais. Oh, you've heard of me. What have you heard? And just so you know, some of my competitors have been trying to besmirch my sterling reputation. Canary? I'm afraid I don't know the word. Oh, them. Well, I have a few shields here. I had one sword, but I sold it already. A collector. I can't go telling you all about my paying customers. One, it's not ethical, and two, it's bad for business. A lot of my customers are sensitive types. They don't want their personal business related to every stranger who happens along. If I'd known he was still breathing, I would have used a knife. I mean, I'd have been more careful. Redcliffe. The guy who bought it lives in Redcliffe. He's a collector. A dwarf named Dwin, I think. I don't want any trouble. If you see that giant, tell him I don't have it, would you? I don't, I swear. Andraste bless you, friend. I've told you what I know. If you'll excuse me, certainly.
You know what the Regent reminds me of, the way he's acting?
What?
The Orlesians. Hap always said they were tyrants and needed a good boot.
I wouldn't say that out loud. Call Loghain an Orlesian and you're asking for a trip to the dungeon.
I have noticed that the painted elf seeks the attention of the Grey Warden.
He certainly does.
I watched many such couplings during the time I spent immobile in Honleith. Or I should say I was forced to watch. You do know that this usually ends in reproduction. I've seen it many times, indeed.
I doubt that would be a problem in this particular instance, but who knows? The act of creation is grand fun.
So you say. I have no idea how a golem is created, but I doubt I shall be creating one anytime soon.
Just as well, I imagine. Any lover of yours would no doubt be quickly reduced to a puddle of bruises.
So you see me winning the affection of another golem, do you? Most golems are slaves to whomever holds their control rod.
Funny, it works exactly the same way for us as well.
You're wasting your time. Only dwarves are allowed into Orzammar.
Oh, you wish to talk to me? Truly, it's a courtesy for one so well-armed to notice a lowly merchant. Someone has to. Trade with other races can dry up. We surfacers are Orzammar's lifeline. Even if we're denied a caste, the Assembly says we've turned our back on the stone, but they still use the goods we bring. Hypocrites. Maybe it'll change by the time my children are grown. Twice a year, I'm confined to a trade stall in the Commons, but I see enough. It's very closed in. My grandfather says I've lost my stone sense. I was born topside. I don't remember having it. Best of luck to you.
What can I do for you? This ought to be interesting. Such diction. This man is a true scholar and rhetorician. I am honored to be fired by one such as he. Good day.
Bloody dwarves will argue themselves into poverty if they aren't careful. Horse feathers.
Yes.
Move along, friend. Thank you.
The deep dark before dawn's first lights seems eternal, but know that the sun always rises.
Maker's blessings upon you, Warden.
The Mages Collective thanks you. Makers smile upon you.
Oh, it's you. The one they're all talking about. Shouldn't you be out there celebrating with the rest of them? Go on, out! Name's Dwyn, and this is my house. Private property, as they say. Now, why would you be interested in that?
It's mine.
You know, Farron didn't mention the giant he took it from was alive. 6 sovereigns. That's not my problem. It costs what it costs.
It could cost you your life, dwarf.
Good point. It's in my strongbox. Here's the key. Now, why don't you leave me alone?
Unexpected. Thank you. You called. As you wish.
Yes.
Yes.
Twisting. Creatures.
Get ready. This won't take long. Not so fast. As you like. Watch out. On it. Time for a little bloodletting, I see. On it. I still remember my first battle.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Right. Right, man.
You are hopeless.
Good shot.
Am I too quick for you? It's a good day
I
to
love this game.
It's a murder, and no one's getting out alive.
I shall try to be more careful in future. I would like bandages.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back? Got it.
Go on.
Some folks came in yesterday with crazy stories about Redcliffe. You hear about that?
Something about the dead rising and killing everyone in Redcliffe. And Arlema nearly dead from some illness.
Crazy, isn't it? Sounds like the end times.
Makers fret, as if we don't have enough to worry about.
I've told you what I can, I swear to you. Good! I mean, come back any time.
So what does a dark spawn look like, anyhow? You ever seen one?
Can't say I want to.
We're probably
Strange.
going to see plenty sooner or later.
I had almost forgotten it. Completion. Are you sure you are a Grey Warden? I think you must be an Ashkari to find a single lost blade in a country at war. I would thank you for this, if I knew how, and I could deliver a much more satisfying answer to the Arishok's question if the Blight were ended, don't you agree? I am one of the Beresad. I have never abandoned the field with a battle unmet. Indeed, it isn't every Grey Warden who has his own Beresad. I will see you reach the Archdemon. Lead the way.
I say later. Much later.
You called. I am hardly surprised. Very well. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
You insult all of Ferelden with your actions. King Loghain will not suffer the delay of his appointed messenger.
Vieta! This land is held in trust for the sovereign dwarven kings. I cannot allow entry at this time.
King Loghain demands the allegiance of the Desher, or lords, or whatever you call them in your assembly. I am his appointed messenger.
I don't care if you're the king's wiper. Orzammar will have none but its own until our throne is settled.
They hide because they are dwarves.
I would challenge any race to fare as well. Our king is dead. Endrunai Dukan returned to the Stone Knot 3 weeks ago. The Assembly has gone through a dozen votes without agreeing on a successor. If it is not settled soon, we risk a civil war.
The Wardens killed King Cailan and nearly doomed Ferelden. They're sworn enemies of King Loghain.
Well, that is the Royal Seal. That means only the Assembly is authorized to address it. Grey Warden, you may pass.
You're letting in a traitor? And a foreigner? In the name of King Loghain, I demand that you execute this stain on the honor of Ferelden. You'll hear of this. King Loghain will see you quartered.
You are free to enter Orzammar, Grey Warden, though I don't know what help you will find.
Atrost Vala, Warden. Your arrival is a mixed blessing. We prefer that outsiders not witness our infighting, but your presence will be tolerated. Fair journeys, Warden.
Bread? Please, sir. Just a bit of bread. Spare a few bits for an old man.
Now that's a thing of beauty, daughter. If you work hard like Branka, all Orzammar will know your name.
Mother, I don't want to be like her. She...
Don't say that! Not to me, not to anyone. Now get back to the forge. I want to see more details.
Yes, Mother.
For the love of...
All right, all right.
Paragons, please.
May the ancestors look kindly upon you.
Show respect, Surfacer. You're in the Hall of Heroes, home to the best of us. Paragons, dwarves who achieve such greatness, they're considered ancestors even if they yet walk among us. If only we had one now. A unifier. A voice like that, there would be no dissension. Perhaps I don't want you to. A surfacer should not see us in this kind of disarray. Goodbye, Warden. I hope you're not needed.
Were you really in that cage for 20 days?
It might have been closer to 30. I stopped counting after a while.
What did you do? I mean, 20 days is a long time to sit in one place and do nothing.
On good days, I posed riddles to the passers-by, offering them treasures in exchange for correct answers.
Really?
No.
Ah, too bad. That's got serious potential.
It is the Assembly who makes a king, and a king who nominates his successor. None of it is carried in the blood.
Or, as now, when someone tries using the Assembly to pull a coup. Who's to say what my father said in his final hours, when the usurper Harrowmont was the only one by his side?
I'll have you thrown in prison.
You've bitten off more than you can chew!
Handlers, separate these dashers in the Diamond Quarter. I will not have Balin incite a riot.
You'll not speak that way about the man who should be king!
Blind idiots. I won't have fighting in the Commons, especially in front of outsiders. I find that sodden fool, I'll have him in the Legion.
Vieta, Surfacer. I'm bid to let you walk the Commons, but keep your place. Warden or not, I want order. See, that's why I don't want you Surfacers seeing our worst. You'll think that's all we are. The market is thin, but busy, and the tavern never closes. Bad blood is usually kept to the proving. Should toss Balin and Harrowmont in there, sort this all out in a hurry. Personal battles for honor and ancestor. I don't expect a Surfacer to understand. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Quarter. They've caged themselves for fear of each other. As you've seen, keeping order down among us working people is dodgy. No place for a proper lord. Balin speaks through his second, Vartag Gavorn, in the Assembly. Lord Harrowmont speaks through Dulin Ferender from his estate. Surfacers appoint no paragons? Truly, you're lost in all that sky. They are the best of us, declared living ancestors. If you must be our warden, at least know us. Go to the Shaper of Memories in the Shaperate, the true bright spot in the Diamond Court. Surface problems. Well, we have no king to hear you. You can join the shouting at the Assembly in the Diamond Quarter if you want. Bunch of Desher lords bickering over sand. Balin, Harrowmont. Is one so different? No paragons here. Yes, you should.
Now that is a remarkable amount of lava. Do you think anyone ever falls in? I understand that there are elves in the Kunari lands, then.
There are elves everywhere.
Yes. Well, I've heard that the Kunari actually put the elves in charge over the humans. Is that true?
Some of them.
Only some? Which ones are they?
The ones who belong in charge. That is the way of the Kyun.
How does this Kyun determine who belongs in charge?
The Tamasrans evaluate everyone and place them where their talents merit.
But elves in general merit higher places than humans in Kunari society?
Some of them.
Back where we began. It's like talking to a water wheel.
Vashaden.
Yes. Indeed.
Good day to you.
Is it true all the wardens are dead?
Blast and damnation!
Ancestors, guard my son, for he is lost in darkness. Mothers, keep him safe.
It's about time the Darkspawn started attacking the surface. They bothered us for far too long.
Is that drunken singing I hear?
Now's better than later.
Oh, wonderful. A dwarven tavern. I've always wanted to try some of their ale. I hear it's quite potent.
Atrust Vala, stranger. You must be the Grey Warden we heard about. Welcome to Tapsters. I'm Cora, your hostess. How may I serve you? With 52 types of ale, 17 types of mead, and a dozen imported wines, we should be able to serve your needs. What do you have? Someone's feeling generous. A round of Valentis Red for everyone. This, my friend, is the Paragon of Ales. The best your money can buy. Enjoy.
Can you believe King Endrin turned against his
Darkspawn
own
attacks
son?
have been really light this year.
I'm coming! I'm coming! Hold on!
Oh my, a real elf.
Afternoon, stranger. You looking for a stool to share a brew? Name's Naveen. I fight with Prince Balin's Expeditionary Field Unit. Yourself? Figured as much. Good folks, Wardens. I was in the deep roads when that one came by. What was his name? Dukan, Dunka... something like that. I met him, sure. Good man. Solid. He knows what we go through in the deep roads. Not many do. Not even the ones who live this close. You have to be on the front lines. Darkspawn. Not much use in turning our weapons elsewhere while those vermin still live. Every Grey Warden ends up there. That's where they send you when you're ready to leave this world. Go die in the dark, putting away as many vermin as you can. We'll go back tomorrow. We're not the only. Balin ordered us in at first bell. He's splitting us into 4 teams to search for some of the lost Tigers. Looking for signs of Bronca, I guess. Seems to be who everyone's after. Lord Harriman's got his own men there, all looking for signs of Bronca. Guess the city's getting to miss having a paragon. Everyone wants someone to put in charge. Bronca was a paragon, some kind of great smith or whatnot. But she went batty and let her whole house into the deep roads more than 2 years ago. No chance she could have survived. And a lot of good men are gonna die looking for her corpse. Excuse me. This brew is starting to taste awful bitter.
In dwarven vaboragas vi en vagabella thag. En dindarvisa saradur vahaden wimedwal. Nasun kalanov en premalanovам.
No singing until the dinner hour.
Hey, there's 2 of you.
They're everywhere! What? Get away! You'll change like the rest! Monsters hidden in all my friends! There's things older than Darkspawn. And once you're in the story, they find you. See? I found copies. All from the same pen, and older than the ones in song. Dormant my ass! Take them! I want out! I won't disappear chasing a lie! I won't!
Told him I don't
I hope they have a
understand
nug on the fire. I'm starving.
It's how the ancestors show their favor. Do they really need our help to decide who's worthy? And then he practically slapped me. Lord Dennick Helmy, honored Desher of the Orzammar Assembly, and terrible disappointment to my esteemed mother, who doesn't like me spending time in taverns. You understand what I'm saying, right? On the surface, there are no castes, and it works fine. Am I right, Warden? But there are those like you who see this with concern, no? Well, I've taken the time to actually talk to the other castes. You know, most smiths and tavern keeps would make decent deshers if we gave them a chance and a seat in the assembly. Orzammar are so mired in tradition, no one bothers asking if the castes are even necessary. Me and 79 other fine, upstanding examples of how someone who's born into every privilege inevitably wants more. They're not fond of my views on equality. Badly. Oh, you're serious? Well, it's simple, I guess. The king and elected deshers of the assembly are at the top. Then it's the nobles. Then the warriors and all the craftsmen. At the bottom are servants. The casteless and criminals are below even that. Your caste is determined by that of your same-sex parent. And that's where you stay your whole life, whatever your skill. As you wish. I wasn't expecting you back. I guess you realize this is about the only fun in Orzammar? I doubt either candidate has been outside the Diamond Court in his life. But Lord Harrowmont seems a bit more forgiving. Prince Balin's brilliant, I'll give him that, and subtle as sin. But I don't think anything in Orzammar matters more to him than winning. As you wish.
Topsiders? Good. Get some outside gold in here. Calm people down. Make them think we should open the gates for good. The more cracks in the old way, the better. That's what Balin stands for. Not your business, but I see where the gold is. He's the traditional pick, yet he wants a new way, whether some like it or not. Just as many say Harrowmont. Neither are paragons, and the scales being equal, I go with the promise of more trade. Can't find ore without splitting some stone. My investments are solid, I'll be fine. The Assembly has done us a favor. They've shown just how loose the sand is under our feet. It opens people to change. I'll take your gold. You're good for that.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much.
How nice. How nice.
One day, the Paragon Branco will return. Oh, and on that day...
This dispute over the throne is exciting, isn't it?
The great Paragon Branca will never return.
Wow,
The ancestors
a real elf.
have taken her from this world.
I knew I should have stuck to common nugs. Now I've gone and lost them too. I'll never find them the way they skitter.
Common nugs. I don't like those. They look dirty.
No way I'm going back to that supplier in Dust Town. Guess I'm shutting it down. Good on you, stranger. Only need one to turn this around. Go on, I'm out of the nug game, got nothing to sell. Saraka, I'm back in the game, such as it is. I don't have much besides gratitude, but find a bunch more of these and I'll toss you whatever I found.
Excuse me, do you have a moment? You look like you're not from around here. Oh, wonderful! I've been trying forever to find someone who really knows the surface world. I don't suppose you've heard of something called the Circle? Then I'm truly honored. I've never met an actual mage. Is it true you can manipulate nature's forces with your mind? Like you were born with lyrium in your veins?
Don't let the glamour fool you, child. Wielding magic is a dangerous occupation, and a great responsibility.
I've been trying to reach someone there for years. I've sent missives with every caravan, but I never get a reply. I want to know if they would accept me for study. No dwarf has ever studied at the Circle of Magi. I guess you never read First Enchanter Caitlin's treatise concerning dwarfs and the non-heritability of magic. He tested dwarfs from 20 bloodlines and found they couldn't perform any level of spell casting, regardless of lyrium exposure or time on the surface. The Circle speculates that lyrium in the stone shields us from spiritual influences, and over time made us immune to them. I want to go to the Circle to study. I don't want to do magic. No dwarf can cast spells, but I don't see why I shouldn't study it. It would be a valuable exchange. Orzammar would learn of one of the great natural forces of the surface. And the Circle gains direct access to our knowledge of lyrium smithing. That would be wonderful. My name is Dagna, daughter of Janar of the Smithcasts. Tell them I've already begun reading the Tevinter Imperium's Verticum Kadab, and it's just fascinating. Did you know the Imperial Magister Lords once had genealogies of every human family known to produce a mage child?
She's so enthusiastic and adorable. I'm glad we're helping her.
Oh, I'll go pack my bags right now. I'll be waiting by my father's shop.
Horse.
Yes.
Atrasvala.
Good day. Is it true that Surfacer elves are murderers and thieves?
You have come at a difficult time. Orzammar is ailing for want of a king.
Lord Balin is a bad man! Yes, very bad!
Is it true there's civil war on the surface, too?
Got it.
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, most likely to pay respects to the rightful king, Prince Balin.
You know, after all this is over, I wouldn't mind getting a job here. I could sing, tell stories, help the king get items from high shelves.
Greetings.
Is it true there's civil war on the surface, too?
Oh my, a surfacer in Orzammar.
I require a moment of silence to take in this magnificent sight.
All right, all right.
Thief! Who would dare take from the memories? Warden, I'm outraged. A thief in the Shapered. What have we been reduced to? I did. He was bald, with the most garish brand across his head. Almost like he took pride in being castless. Imagine! He's probably in the slums somewhere. As if he'd find a buyer for a stolen tome in Dust Town. They couldn't know the value.
Perhaps you should stand over there instead.
Are you with that warrior girl who's always here?
I'll get on it.
Oh, pardon me. Were you looking for a particular volume? Not that I could really help. I, don't know the libraries very well. I'm just doing some research. I was looking for something about the Orton Tig. It was lost during the last Blight, and there aren't many records left. They were a noble house once, descended from the Paragon Orton, who composed the grand epic of the Seven Brothers and the Ortonic Symphony. My mother's family believes they were descended from Kalana Orton, who was training in Orzammar when the Tig fell. I'm even named for the house, Orta. Unfortunately, any records would be buried in the Tig's ruins, somewhere in the deep roads. A Grey Warden? Mother always said that if anyone could find the Tig, it was the Wardens. I hear Prince Balin and Lord Harrimont have both been sending out small teams these days. Yes, if you can find the Tig in any records, that could do it. That could prove I'm a noble. If you could. Maybe now that you're looking. It's almost too much to hope.
I hope you find what you're looking for.
I'm sorry, you'll have to bother someone else with your questions.
I'll get on it.
As you like.
Allow me. I could do that for you.
When I last walked this hall, Endrin was king and Orzammar was at peace. The memories often speak of the swiftness with which change overtakes us. But it is different to see it firsthand. I apologize, Warden. I should not burden a stranger with such thoughts. I am Zebor, the Shaper of Memories. The Shaperate guards Orzammar's knowledge. We have preserved in Lyrium all of the records of Dwarven history. The memories record all. They are how we know to which family a child owes life, how we trace lost Tigs. They ensure we forget nothing of our past, good or bad. Ask, and I shall do my best to answer. According to our legends, 7 brothers founded our empire. The youngest, Bloadlik, was the wisest and was chosen king. His children formed the noble caste. The eldest, Giachet, trained his sons to defend their king. They became the warrior caste. Shatgyar founded the artisans. Orzatyar forged our first swords. It was Orzammar who dug the mines that became our city's foundations. The twins Koapar and Noct both founded trading houses, but Noct was wounded in battle. On his recovery, he swore to serve his brother's sons. The casteless descend from criminals and those repudiated by their own families, or who chose to go to the surface and live by human laws. They have no ancestors to guide them and no families to claim them. They should not have been born. Their parents defied their shame and brought cursed children into the world. It's better they die young. Their births are not recorded in the memories. In Orzammar, they do not exist. Is there something more pleasant you wish to discuss? We were a great empire once, outnumbering even humans and elves. We traded with your Tevinter Imperium. and our land stretched as far in the deep roads as theirs did above. Kal Sharok was capital then, but we lost too many battles. We lost our golems, and we lost our territory. Now the Empire is simply ruined tunnels filled with darkspawn. The Paragon Caridon, a smith of unsurpassed genius, invented the golems. For years they were our weapon against the darkspawn. One golem is worth a dozen dwarves in battle, but Caridon's Tig is far into the deep roads. When it fell, we lost his secret to creating golems. There are books about it along these walls if you would read more. Yes. We have only a few dozen left in Orzammar, and I do not recognize this one. Where did you find it? Every golem is precious to us. We'd pay a good sum for a new find.
I'd sooner jump into a pit of lava.
Unfortunate. Was there anything else? I must tell the rest of the Shaperate about this discovery. Your presence here has been recorded in the memories. I wish I knew what significance it has.
The Assembly is in session. Enter quietly if you wish to observe.
Your mind has gone to dust if you think we would pass such a writ. Half our houses would go broke without the service trade.
The proposal is only effective until we have a king to ensure we are respected by the surfacers.
Leaving you conveniently positioned to take over all contracts. I'll see your head on a pike first.
Deshers, lords and ladies of the Assembly. I've already doubled the guard to prevent violence. Must I summon more?
Steward Bandalore, Balin's sympathizers are tying our hands with trivialities. They may as well open us to the sky.
I suggest we put the matter to a vote.
And I suggest you have a taste of my family's mace.
Enough! The Assembly is in recess until the members can regain control of their emotions. Stone-forsaken fools and dusters. I'm sorry. This is the Assembly of the Clans. Only Deshers and occasional guests of state are allowed in. Oh, Stone. You must be the Grey Warden. I completely forgot about the Gate Guard's message. Welcome to Orzammar, Warden. I hope you can forgive our unrest. The loss of our king has hit us hard. Respect for your role is great, but you won't receive a proper hearing until we have a king on the throne. Troubling, but it will still seem distant compared to the empty throne. The Assembly is blind to all else. Dulin Ferender, Harriman's man, can be found at the Harriman estate. Vartag Gavorn, Prince Balin's II, is often here in the Assembly. I only wish there was more I could do for you.
Warden, welcome. It is always a blessing for Orzammar to host your order. I am Vartag Gavorn, top advisor to our good Prince Balin. What news do you bring? Why, the rightful ruler of Orzammar. A title he would have greeted you under, had not subversive elements been plotting against him. He is King Endrin's only surviving son. There is no reason to seek any other to take the throne. Ah, ancient documents indeed. These were signed in the reign of Eithnar Bimo, Paragon and King. That was 16 generations ago. Now, the difficulty is that the treaty only compels our king, and we are sadly lacking one of those right now. You must understand, Harrowmont hides behind his good reputation while sending spies and assassins. Balin can't know who to trust. It's been like a knife in the heart for Balin to see so many of his father's men stand with the usurper. Would you be willing to prove that? Harrowmont has engaged in a campaign of bribery and coercion to ensure that every house serves him. But if a neutral party, a stranger, were to approach certain key members, perhaps with irrefutable evidence of Harrowmont's deception, I'm certain my Lord Prince would show his gratitude. Don't expect this offer to last. If my prince hears you swore allegiance to his enemy, he won't be so friendly next time. I will be here if you change your mind.
Can I get you a...
I heard there was a Grey Warden here. I am Dulan Forrender, second to Lord Harrowmont, King Endrin's own choice as successor. Word is spreading that the surface may suffer a blight. It is shameful we are not in a better position to help. In an ordinary time, Lord Harrowmont would be honored to meet you. Unfortunately, we've already caught more than one of Balin's spies approaching Harrowmont under a pretense of friendship. So I'm afraid I won't be able to take your word. If you want to speak to Harrowmont, you will need to prove he can trust you. You're asking the King of Orzammar to send armies to the surface, but Orzammar has no king and we have no army. Right now, the men who should be fighting Darkspawn are brawling in the street. If this situation is not resolved, we face civil war. If you want Lord Harrowmont's time now, you'll have to prove you have no intention of turning against him later. If you wish to show you have no loyalty to Balin, then work against him in Harrowmont's name. Balin is hosting a proving today, supposedly to honor his father's memory. The Deshers take it very seriously, and unfortunately, Balin found some way to blackmail or intimidate House Harrowmont's best fighters into stepping down. It would certainly make your loyalties loud and clear.
And this is to be your king. One who cannot keep his own men from running like frightened children.
Lord Harrowmont does not use threats or intimidation to motivate his men. He leads by example.
Ah, I see. So it's his example they follow as they cower from this Prince Balin.
How dare you slander Lord Harrowmont?
Why should we ally ourselves with someone too scared even to grant us an audience? Were I you, I would seek a stronger king than this Harrowmont.
Surely you don't mean Balin. Then you and I have nothing more to say.
I hope you're not wasting my time with more dithering. The choice I gave you was clear. If you want Balin to support you in your surface war, you'll have to help him take the throne. I've acquired evidence Harrowmont is using the same piece of land to bribe both Lady Dace and Lord Helmy to vote in his favor. I have the promissory notes right here. Just take them to Lady Dace and Lord Helmy and show them Harrowmont is not as honest as he claims. Lady Dace doesn't leave the quarter much, but Lord Helmy's adventurous, likes to spend his time at tapsters in the Commons. Remember, don't tell them you got these papers from me. You learned of them and drew your own conclusions.
News of the hour. Lord Harrowmont entrenched in the pass.
What do you want? Ah, I suppose you're the Grey Warden everyone's talking about. It's fascinating the surface has an entire order dedicated to fighting Darkspawn. Down here, that's just what fighting means. But I'm sure it's more difficult on the surface. It must be much harder to find them. I am? And what business would you have with me? Now, was that an attempt to cozen me into revealing my choice, or are you simply making small talk? It's so hard to tell with you surface types. You're all so charmingly direct and artless. Who wants to know? It certainly can't be you. What interest would a Grey Warden have in who rules Orzammar? Well, this isn't exactly a surface broadsheet. Where did you get these? Never mind. It is true enough, but there's nothing I can do about it. This deal was made on behalf of our entire house. Only my father can revoke it. I cannot. Not for weeks. He is leading a Deep Roads expedition, trying to secure an ancient Tig. It's unlikely he'll be back before the election, but perhaps this vote is important enough for you to brave the tunnels to tell him? The Dace family would be in your debt. He was searching an old Idukan site. He left me with this map, in case his expedition never returned. I'll give you a pass as well. Usually, no one is allowed past the front lines. Does that mean you'll go? So Balin's victory means enough for you to risk your life. How interesting.
Grey Warden arrives in Orzammar, undoubtedly to offer assistance to Lord Harrowmont.
You have come at a difficult time.
2
Orzammar is
years
ailing
tomorrow.
for want of a king.
By all the holy sodding ancestors, how can you people just ignore that?
Bronca didn't go alone, Ogren. She took the whole house, everybody but you. So just get over to Tapster's and drown yourself already. You know as well as I do that's how this always ends.
You think I'm afraid of some cub warrior who's barely off the teat? Ha! I'll...
You lift a weapon, or attack a single citizen in Orzammar, and you're stripped of your caste and exiled. Even you can't have forgotten that. Get out of here before I call a guardsman.
So, I've been hearing rumors that a certain wine merchant is falling behind on his payments.
I can't imagine what you mean. I paid my expenses.
What about the expenses your good friend Jarvia incurs when providing your protection? It's not easy ensuring nothing bad happens, that no one decides to just burn everything in your store.
My store! Please, I don't have much. Business isn't good. People are scared. Tell Jarvia I'll get her money.
Jarvia's not happy with your promises, old man. Now let's go inside. Been holding back.
This is all I have right now. I could get more if I sell something.
Well, well. Looks like we have a visitor. Friend of yours?
You... get out of here. This is private business. Please, don't get involved with this. You don't know what they're like.
Then allow me to make some introductions. These are dangerous times in Orzammar, stranger. Lucky us, the merciful Jarvia is offering protection from the chaos. You're wearing some fancy stuff there. Might make you a target. So if you want the Carta's guarantee of safety, it's yours for the reasonable price of 10 gold sovereigns. Or I can't say what might happen. Whoa, whoa! All right, you win. I'm not gonna die for 10 lousy sovereigns.
Ancestors, bless you for saving my poor store. I don't know how to express my gratitude. I've never met her, of course. They say she never leaves Dusttown. That's, the older area of the city where the casteless congregate. She's the one directing this depravity. Since good King Endrin died, they're getting bolder. They used to be a problem only in Dusttown, but now they're in the commons, shaking honest men down for coin. I'm showing you the lowest prices I can afford, I assure you.
How nice. How nice.
So I am led to understand that the sister is a follower of this Maker.
Am I the sister? Oh, that's so cute. It's like you're my big brother. Or sister. Or whatever.
I am a creature of stone. I rather doubt that we would be related in any shape or form.
Oh, I didn't mean literally. Don't you think that people can be related in spirit?
I notice that humans tend to believe in a great number of things that are not true, even when given evidence to the contrary.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what faith is all about, Shale.
Believing in things when there is no proof is what gullibility is all about.
So I am gullible now.
I take it we are no longer sisters in spirit.
I'm sorry. Did you have an offering for the ancestors? Although, I can't imagine your ancestors reside in the stone. I don't know that word. This is a section of stone kept bare to receive our prayers. The stone gave rise to our people, and it is where their spirits return in death. My name is Vilda, widow of Turok of the Smith caste. I pray here every day for my son, Ruck. I only wish I knew whether I should be asking for his safe return or for the ancestors to accept his soul. It was 5 years ago. He was only a youngster. He joined a Deep Roads excursion, the only smith to go with the warriors to repair their arms. He was so proud, but he got separated somehow. When they came home, he wasn't with them. The captains don't want to lose anyone searching for stray men. Too many were taken by Dark Spawn that way. How? There is no way except to brave the deep roads yourself. A warden? So you could do it. Only wardens face the deep roads without a company backing them. Oh, thank you. The ancestors finally heed my prayers.
Don't get your hopes up. We could search the deep roads for decades with no sight of the boy.
Please, find me as soon as you return.
Got it.
Maker's blessing on you, brother. Oh, you look as if you come from the surface. I thought perhaps you were raised in the way of the Chantry. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar. There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. Yet the dwarves of Orzammar persist in worshipping their own forefathers. You speak as if these people have deliberately chosen to reject the Maker, but most of them haven't even heard his name. How can they choose the path of enlightenment if they never learn that the path exists? I need the Shaper of Memory's permission to open a prayer meeting. Could you talk to him? You're from the surface. You know the Chantry's good works. A Chantry here could provide more than just spiritual guidance. It could be a place of education, of refuge for widows and orphans, a place of charity. Too many in Orzammar spend their lives overlooked. I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder, guiding you always.
If this chantry could help just one person as much as it helped me, it's worth any trouble.
Please, let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
Aha! I smell a seedy underbelly. Warts and all.
Yeah! We'll get plenty for that. Once we cut them out of it.
I'll try to be merciful.
Killing yourself without more dignity, no? Ready.
Oh, someone's going to fall. Sure won't be me. Both our hands.
No mercy.
Now is better than later.
I never liked this part.
Now is better than later. Can I get you a ladder? You can get off my back?
Time for a little bloodletting, I see. Killing yourself would have more dignity, no? Shame.
It is done.
Invigorating, that was. Of course.
Who are you? You don't look like any guardsman I ever saw, and that's not much of a uniform. Oh, you looking for a chance to bring in some coin? Could be I have that opportunity. Especially for someone with a few connections above ground. Human kings, you know, they make these ridiculous laws. Like about who gets to buy and sell lyrium, the sacred gift the stone provides us to show her love. No law should regulate that. The laws are meant to keep mages away from the stuff, so there's always buyers in the Circle Tower. I got one man named Godwin. He's expecting a delivery of his stone's weight. You want an investment opportunity? I could see fit to, say, sell you that lyrium instead, at the reasonable price of 50 sovereigns. You can keep it, or, since you can travel freely from here, sell it to Godwin, who you know is buying. And if you bring back his return order, I could pay you, say, 20 sovereigns as a finder's fee. You haggle like a merchant born. Deal. Here's the lyrium, then. You, probably don't want to take it out of the box. I'll be waiting for the next order somewhere out of sight. Say, just around the corner.
Whoever you're looking for, it's not me, I swear.
All right, all right.
What are you looking for? We got nothing to buy for the likes of you. Or maybe you wanted to sell. Well, our business is kind of covert, if you know what I mean. It's illegal in Orzammar for me to engage in protected trade, but they look the other way if I share things with my friends. For money. Why don't you take a look? You're back. You got more business? Of course.
I see the way they all look at me. They think I'm less than dirt.
Your clothes are so fancy. Did you get them topside? My mam used to say they don't got no stone to protect them topside. If I go up there, I'm gonna fall into the sky. Yes. When my dad left, he never came back. Who's to say he didn't fall up, eh? Don't fall into the sky when you go back up there.
Something I can help with? Vast holes carved from the stone of the mountain, lined with the chiseled marble figures of paragons, so fine as to mirror life itself. Soaring ceilings grand enough to make any man forget the sky and the sun, and to question the reason for their existence. I have heard of these things and more, but none prepared me for what I have seen here. It is marvelous. Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind?
Coin. You got any coin? I haven't eaten since yesterday.
What do you want, Warden? You're out of your element down here. Is that so? What makes you think anyone here would turn me, this person in? You've walked into a sodding fight, Warden, and I've already passed your stupid tome along. Too bad for you.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Pathetic little existences.
We have done well.
I'll get on it.
What is your desire? Very well, but I consider this pillow talk. How nice.
Oh, how dear of you. Thank you so much. Something I can help with?
I may have a cause to apologize to the sister.
Apologize? For what?
For suggesting that the sister was gullible for believing in things which were not real.
Oh, that! I'd already forgotten about that. Thank you for reminding me.
I suppose it would offer some comfort to believe that things occur according to some grand purpose. All those years I spent in Honleith, unable to move, it would be comforting to think there was some reason for it.
Do you know there wasn't? Perhaps the Maker did it to bring you here, to us. You once said that you had no purpose. Perhaps you are simply looking for it in the wrong place.
Perhaps. I shall think on this.
You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. I trust Vala, my nug wrangling friend. You're the best wrangler I've ever seen. But there's more out there.
What's this? An elf? I'm sorry, but I cannot allow you past the front lines without Adesh's permission. And I've heard nothing of any new patrols scheduled to leave today. I see you have his daughter's seal, so I will not stop you. But be careful. Just because the beasts have pulled back from Orzammar doesn't mean there are any fewer in the deep roads. Either we finally have the edge, which I doubt, or the beasts are building up numbers for the next attack.
The surface? But I thought the vermin never went up that far except
during blights. Ancestors save us if that's what's happening. What anyone knows? She went out there with her entire house and she's never coming back.
You don't think maybe she's still there, Commander? She is a paragon, after all.
And now she's an ancestor. No one lasts 2 years in the tunnels. Best of luck.
Something I can help with? Yes? What's on your mind? Of course I do. I love stories far too much to keep them to myself. Everyone should be able to benefit from them, I think. Something I can help with?
You called. Speak, then. Then I suggest we move on. As you wish.
What is your desire? I could teach others, but...
I await your command.
Yes.
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 Horsefield. Indeed.
So, here is a question for the Painted Elf.
Painted Elf? Oh, that's me. Oh, I do like that.
Am I to understand correctly that the Painted Elf is a crow?
Come on, you've rested enough. We need to get these out of the tower before they get fragrant.
Touching those abominations. It's wrong.
Someone has to do it.
Why do we have to take them across the lake to burn? The lake's right there.